What's up, everybody out there on Facebook land and Zoom land and YouTube land? I'd like to say, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody out there in the world. Tonight is an awesome and amazing night. First of all, my name is Brother Damon Warren, and I'm the founder, owner, and operator of P.E.A.C.E, which stands for Please Educate All Children Equally. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest, someone I've known for just about 40 years now. We're getting up there, bro. About 40 years now. And talk about something that's very, very near and dear to both of our hearts. The game of football, but also the game of life, like through football. I'd like to introduce everybody out there in the world to Brother Joseph Devane. What's up, Joe?
What's happening, Brother Warren? What's going on?
It's all good. You can call me Smash. People know me as Smash from playing football. You put that out there.
That's my man.
And you know you was rock. You know you was rock. So let's get that out the way. So now we go with Joe and we go Brother Warren after that.
That for sure.
What's happening, man? How you been?
Everything's good, man. I'm just out here just trying to do my thing, As you said, the love of football, man, has brought me a mighty long way, and I just thank God for getting involved with football, because I'm gonna tell you something. If I could look back and pinpoint a couple of things that changed my life, I definitely would say the game of football was definitely a piece that allowed me to just see a lot of different things in life. And then listen, I want to be able to just kind of spread that to our young people, that know how that can be a tool to an end.
For sure. So talk about a little bit how you first became introduced to the game of football, and as a youth, and when you started playing and all those good things. Just go for it.
It's amazing, Smash. As a young fella growing up in the suburbs of Maryland, PG County, just like many of us baby boomers, we came from kind of cut from some of the same cloth, outside, playing tackle football, right? Watching sports, establishing, heroes in the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and I'm no different. When I came up, I've been a diehard Washington Commanders fan forever. And, when I was young, I used to sit there and watch George Allen and Larry Brown, Ron McDowell, Charlie Taylor. I know a lot of you guys don't know those names, but these are Redskins from back in the 70s and in late 70s. And, I wanted to be a football player, and I had a chance to play Pop Warner ball at Lanham, the Lanham Raiders they were. And I had a chance to just get involved at an early stage. I was 7, 8 years old. My dad and mom, hardworking folks, but, at the end of the day, they didn't have a whole lot of time to spend with me at that, in that area. So, they signed me up, and I walked down to the field each day, and, I just fell in love with the game. And, from there, had an opportunity to just involve myself with a great program in PG County, the Eleanor Roosevelt Raiders. Had a great high school coach who I'm going to tell you owe a lot to him, Coach Ben Wright, who got me involved. Before we actually hit the high school, he came to the junior high school and kind of indoctrinated some of the kids and said, come up, lift weights. And, and from there, man, I just had a love for the game. And I'll be honest with you, Smash, if it was not for football, I probably would have never turned into the academic or the good student that I was, because, hey, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little hard-headed. I was always a go-getter. Financially, I was always a little entrepreneur. But school was important, but it wasn't a priority. But, when I found out that the only way I could continue to play football was I had to have a certain grade point average, Well, guess what? That changed my outlook on how I looked at school. And that's when I really understood that it is a means to an ends, because even back then, the aspiration was to go to the NFL.
It's all
But
of
I
us.
understood, I understood that in order to chase that NFL dream, I had to be academically sound. And as I got closer and closer to what I thought was my NFL dream, I got a partial scholarship to Cheney University and excelled there. But at every level of the game, I understood, and it was slowly kind of being a realization that, listen, this NFL thing may not happen, right? So I better keep on doing what I was doing academically. And I tell you, man, it opened up so many doors for me, at the high school level and the college level, educationally, getting involved with people and programs and organizations, and then just keeping my grades up. And again, it just landed me just so many tremendous opportunities.
Absolutely, man. So listen, I like to shout out your parents because, not only did they do the right thing for you, but by them doing the right thing for you, and I met you, and so many other guys met you, because we coming from the hood, in Philly, right? So it was different. Like, we loved the game. We loved it for different reasons. Well, we all wanted to go to, everybody thought they was going to the pros. Everybody thought they was going to do that. But the training and stuff like that we had at that time back in 1982, it was like running around the field, maybe with some cinder blocks or get on a universal machine and stuff like that. It wasn't no real organized training or whatnot. And we were in shape, no doubt, but it was a different kind of a shape. But when I saw you come to this, I said, who was this old looking dude that's the same age as me, all swole up and everything, coming in the college as a freshman and whatnot. And so there were only a couple of freshmen that got a chance to really get on the field and start. And you being one of them as a true freshman and whatnot. And I was like, well, listen, I need to find out what this guy is doing. I'm not going to pull up a picture. I got a picture. Maybe at the end I'll share it. I don't know if you want to share it loud or not. Maybe I'll send it to you. Picture of me, you, and Tony Smalls. I don't know what the picture I'm talking about. This is a picture of all three of us. I don't know if I can put that on Facebook Live. I shared on all.
It's all good, brother. I know.
After we did a whole bunch of push-ups and working out and whatnot, and took this picture and whatnot, because I was like, these dudes is different. I need to find out what these guys are doing. So like 40 years ago, I just said, listen, whatever they selling, I'm buying, because I'm trying to start next year too. Straight up, real talk. And so as a result of being around guys like you and other guys that came up in that culture of that off-season training and whatnot, I was sold. And that's the way I was going to get on the field and stay on the field until I decide, you know what, I ain't going to be on the field anymore. But that's a whole different story. They ain't about that right now tonight. But now, talk about how that off-season conditioning program was important and bigger, faster, and stronger. Because I remember that magazine. I'll never forget. I said, yo, you in the magazine. And I was doing this magazine. I got to get like that. So talk about the importance of the off-season conditioning program back then.
It's funny, it's fast. Again, I want to give kudos to Coach Ben Wright, man, my high school coach, because I'm going to tell you something. He told me something that I will never forget. He said, you can be the most talented football player, but if you come to the field bigger, faster, and stronger, you're going to always have yourself an edge on some of the folks that's there. They may be more talented than you, right? But if you're bigger, if you're faster, if you're stronger, you're going to get yourself an opportunity to prove yourself and to find yourself a place on the field. And from those days forward, I realized how important being prepared, strength-wise, conditioning-wise, was to being able to make a football team or to be able to fight for a starting position. And, my days at Cheney, right, really were a testament to what I had been prepared for. And as I, walked away from college football, had a chance to coach college football for a while and then step away from it and then get back into football when my son was born 14 years ago, right? I said, if I'm going to get into this thing, I'm going to be all in. And one of the things that, when given the opportunity to be a head coach, assistant coach, and really have some say-so with the program, I instituted an off-season training program, and I instituted it at a time frame when I think that the kids are most volatile. I understand that, all parents aren't into, having kids lift weights and get it too early. But that doesn't mean that they can't run, they can't condition, they can't do other exercises, right, that will help them build strength, and do it at a period of time away from the season, off season. Because at the end of the day, my motto, and it's something that I started a couple years ago. I don't even know if I picked it up from somewhere, I made it up, but it's something that I believe in, and that's that championships are won in the off season. People try to show up at camp, but at the end of the day, the guys that come to camp better prepared means that the coaches have to spend less time getting you prepared. And that goes to that motto where it says you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And you stay ready by being, staying conditioned and training in the off season so that you're able to be prepared when the season comes amongst you. And that goes for young athletes too. And, in this day and age where you have, the different programs that folks are running year round with the what is it called? The
7-on-7?
The 7-on-7, and the thing like your daughter's in the
AAU.
It's very competitive. And at the end of the day, if you want to be involved, right, at a certain level, right, then you have to put in the time and effort. But the other piece of it is this is also a great breeding ground to help young athletes to learn and understand, what hard work actually can do for you. It provides a mindset. Football, although the basis of it is you train hard, you work hard, you go into the season prepared, you give yourself a chance to win championships. That's why I say championships are won in the off season. But just as equally important, that it provides a mindset for young people to understand how hard work will turn into, results in the future. And then you take and you trend that to, getting a job, or trend that into, studying, getting good grades, and being able to, start your career, with six figures, because you've done the hard groundwork early on to be able to position yourself to do that. So Smash, I'm just a proponent, of the off-season training, the conditioning and the strength portion, as well as the educational portion. Absolutely. And one of the pieces that we talked about is just as important, how just as important the educational piece is to the off-season training as the the strength and conditioning part.
Absolutely. Similarly to you, I have a saying I like to say all the time: if you sweat more during peace, you bleed less during war. And first of all, I would be remiss if I didn't say all the prayers that were out there for the young man out there from Buffalo Bills and everything. Glad to see that young man bounce back. And a lot of that has to do with prayer, right? Definitely has to do with prayer. But definitely he was a well-conditioned person as well. So a combination of all the prayers and then also being well-conditioned. And that happens in the off season, because if you sweat more during peace, you bleed less during war. And right there on the football field, it can be warlike. It's not for everybody. We know that. But for those that want that, you have to prepare yourself in the off season, both physically, mentally, as well as spiritually,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about a little bit the Ducks and talk about the program specifically, the off-season conditioner program. How we going to rock with that? And first of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to come and join, be a part of that movement and whatnot for the off-season and whatnot. It's been 8 years since I've actually been on a field like that or whatever. Looking forward to dusting off my whistle and helping out a little bit, but not just physically, but also the mental state, the emotional
absolutely.
The education space. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, let me just say this, man. The Delaware Ducks, man, that was a great organization. It's a spinoff of the MOT, Middletown Odessa youth league that they have down in Middletown. A couple gentlemen, Dan Black and Coach John Vickers, who had a vision and came up north and started this organization, and myself along with a couple other coaches bought into it, and they just done what I think is a great job at putting together a program that allowed young athletes to compete at a high level at a young age, right? I think that one of the pieces that was missing, which I thank them for the opportunity for me to come in and share my input, and then they listen. And that is that when we have the attention of these young men, that we need to not take that for granted, and we need to give them everything. We can't just be selfish and say, listen, it's just about winning football games and about, helping them be bigger, faster, and stronger, but we got to give them a whole experience. And that comes from that when I say a whole experience, that's academically, that's mentally, that's socially, right? That's keeping them away from the nonsense of the streets. Because, at the end of the day, Smash, as our kids get older, the more and more time they spend away from us. I'm talking about parents. They spend more time with their coaches. They spend more time with their teachers, and they spend more time with their friends, right, than they spend with us as parents. So, and they cell phone, right? Absolutely. So I said, you know what? I want to take and make sure that the time that they spend with me and my coaches is very beneficial, and that we want to use. I use old saying that I use football to trick them, right? Because that's something that they want, right? Because then when they say coach, right, I say, listen, we gonna practice football, but at the end that 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the end of practice, every day when we go around the horn and every coach gives them some input on the day and gives them a little life lesson. To me, right, that's dang on near the most important part of practice, because you know what, these young men hear some things that are coming from their mentors, right, guys, coaches that they look up to. And our program that we were able, so fortunate enough to, and I'm blessed, the Department of Family and Youth Services in Delaware, awarded us a grant 2 years ago through the opioid grant that they have to provide, substance abuse prevention and wellness education to 7th and 8th graders. And what we were able to do is overlay that into already what I think was a great program and add this piece. And I tell you, the reviews that we got from the parents were just were unbelievable. I mean, when I sat down and had to re-up for the grant and had to get the parents to talk about the benefit that their kids got and how they appreciated what we were able to do through the grant, adding to what we were already doing, I almost led me to tears. Some of the things that the parents were saying that helped their young student athletes. And that really just thrust me forward to say, listen, man, I got to keep doing this. I got to keep pushing this thing forward. So, our off-season training program is just a component, a small component of what I believe is a bigger agenda, a bigger initiative for us to collectively as coaches be able to spread a overarching message about substance abuse, about education, about academics, right, about wellness, right? Because at the end of the day, we have what I call a captive audience, a kid that wants to play football. And I'm the key right now. I'm the key to putting you on the field. So guess what? If I'm the key to putting you on the field, I'm going to do my part, but I'm also going to hold you accountable to giving you information and listening and making you listen for 15 or 20 minutes every time I have you, right, to be able to instill and to insert into you something, that's also going to help you in the game of life. And, that's really been the thrust of our program. I personally just don't think there's enough folks out there to take advantage of it, and that's really why, although this program was given to us for the Delaware Ducks and for us to take and take the seventh and eighth graders, which is a group of about 30 kids, and put this program to play, I was able to convince the Department of Youth Services, based on the success that we had with those 30 kids, to say, let's take this thing on the road. Let's open it up to more young student athletes to be able to be educated and be able to take advantage of these opportunities. And that's where we're at right now. We're trying to reach out to more and more young people. We want to train. We want them to live their dream to hopefully one day be able to be in the NFL, be able to compete at the high school level, be prepared for high school, and to be able to go on to college. But also we want them to be able to be aware of all the other things that are around them, the drugs, being properly, making sure that you're taking care of your body, all of those things are pieces to the big puzzle. And we again, our program is just one that we make sure that we institute that critical component when we're also doing what they love to do, and that's prepare themselves for this great game that we both love.
Yeah, man. I call it tricknology.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Technology, but it's not really tricking them, man. It kind of sells itself after a while. You're given those platforms, you're given those places and those spaces. And I coached a little bit over the years, man. So I ain't gonna get into that because it ain't about me. It's about us doing for these babies out here, and they can hear all of that stuff later on and whatnot. So logistically speaking, in terms of the program that we got going on, and I have the flyer. I'm going to share the flyer, the most recent one, the one that says breaking news. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share that real quick and just talk about that a little bit to the community that's out there watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have this flyer here. We good with this one right here?
All right. So this is a great example of us forming a new partnership with the Bellevue Community Center up there off of Duncan Road in Wilmington. Mm-hmm. And basically what we're doing is our program, which is sponsored through the Delaware Ducks. And we have a bunch of young student athletes that are already involved in the program. But what we do is we take our program on the road. So on 2/3, our program, let me take a step back. The program is Tuesday and Thursdays from 6 to 7:30. And the program rotates from locations in Newark, Bear, and now in Wilmington. And what we do is when we get up in another area of the city or another area of the county, we like to try to take and grab another group of young student athletes so they can take part. And then guess what, right? They take part, fall in love, and then guess what? When we go back down to the county, their parents bring them down there, and now all of a sudden, we have kids that are embracing this off-season youth training, right? From place to place, and we just have some magnificent young coaches, right, that come and help me out. Guys that have played college football at Michigan, University of Buffalo, Coach Smash, who played with me at Cheney and coached in the public league. And all of these guys helped me to deliver, a great product, right? Both physically with the training and mentally with the team builder information that we give them, that just gives just information on life. And then of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the substance abuse and wellness piece that we also provide in this thing. So here on we're going to be kicking off our youth football training this in 2023. This Thursday at the Bellevue Community Center, 6 to 7:30.
Yes, sir.
And then what we're going to do is on that day, we're going to be unleashing our whole month of our locations that will be for the rest of the month. And we just want to have as many young people as possible to come out and be able to share in an hour and a half of activity, some great football training, some skill development, and also some good team building conversations that we think will be worthwhile and help to continue to just allow your young student athlete to grow and develop.
Like,
You have that other, do you have the other flyer you can throw up there, the one with the Ducks information? I don't know if you have that.
let me see what I got for you right here, good brother. All right, let me
Right.
stop.
But why my but
Oh,
again,
you can share,
and I'll tell you,
you
you
share
know,
the screen. You can
I'm
share.
sorry, go ahead.
You can share also. I just gave you sharing rights because you have it on your screen.
Okay.
You can share it if you like.
Trying to
But
see.
while he's looking for that right there, it's essential that we keep these babies off the street. Everyone out there knows what's going out there. We had talked a couple of months ago rather, regarding a program they're trying to do as far as keeping guns off the street and keeping the streets safe and so on and so forth. So all of this plays into that. I mean, these young people, they love family. All of them, even when they're doing the wrong things, they want to be a part of a family, right? They may not have that strong family structure at home or whatnot, or they may, but they go out in the street and find this other family. But here in the off season, there is really no off season. There is really no off season. You're trying to be good. There's no off season in athletics. It's year round, being a student athlete all the way year round. So we just give another opportunities for these young people to train themselves, train their minds, bodies, and their spirits, and give them a sense of family. Because as Brother Devane, aka Rock, just said, it definitely did the thing for him back in the day, just like it did for me, coming up in the hoods of Philadelphia. So we definitely need to continue to pour into our babies year round. And I'm just so grateful and blessed to be dusting off my whistle after like several years and coming on back and helping out and being a part of the Delaware takeover, we're going to call it. Delaware takeover, substance abuse, program to make sure that our prevention of young people getting involved with those negative things out there in the street. So you are sharing your screen now. There we go.
Yeah. So I was trying to find the PDF of it, but I have the see if I can
just scroll it down. That's all.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to scroll it down. Here we go. Right. But you'll see here, the program, it actually starts on January the 12th, but it just talks about the team building conversations, free. And actually, we've actually waived the $10 per session for all others. It's free for everybody. Nice. And
please, people, scan the QR code, people. Scan that QR code, share with your friends, please.
Right, scan the QR code, it'll send you right to a sign-up list, provide a nice some Gatorade and snacks for the kids after each workout. So again, it's a great program, right? We have up to 40 spots for every session. So, again, we're trying to kick this thing off on this Thursday. We'd love to have you out there to participate. And then at that time, we'll have you guys some information on our next locations, which will be probably down here in the Bear area. And then we'll be fluctuating back and forth. But again, we're just excited to try to continue the program. And I'm just appreciative of Smash just giving me this opportunity to just be before you guys and be able to share what we're doing.
Oh man, please, man. It's a given, man. We got to make sure we save these babies, man. Got to make sure we save these babies, man. So any final thoughts, any final words, man? Or you good, brother?
You know what? I really have a desire here as I'm closing in on what I call my retirement years. I'm 57 and I'm looking to kind of start climbing down the other side of the mountain. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do is I wanted to full time just develop young men and be able to mentor young men. And I want this to just continue. I don't want it to die. I want it to grow. I want as many young athletes to be able to take advantage of it as possible. Again, and this is just a small something. And again, we have a lot of space still open. And I know right now, with the program kind of moving from place to place, it doesn't work for everybody. But again, if you can participate in a couple of them here or there, I think it'll be something that you're going to see that it's a must see and a must continue, right? And again, I just think Smash again for the opportunity to just put the information before you guys. So hopefully we'll see you soon.
I'm excited, brother. I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm actually going to go to Dick's Sporting Goods tomorrow, get me a brand new whistle and a brand new pair of cleats. I'm excited. I'm getting pumped up, man. So listen, everyone out there, please, if you know somebody who you think will benefit from this opportunity, please share this link. It will be housed on my Facebook page, my brother Devane's Facebook page, and also I'll share it, through various sources as well. Again, thank you, Brother Devane. Appreciate you, brother. You know what I mean? 40
Appreciate
years, 40
you
years,
having me.
40 years, 40 years of knowledge, brother right here. It's a good brother right there. Doing a lot of great work down here in Delaware, throughout the entire state of Delaware. My name is Brother Damon Warren. Stay on for a second, Joe. My name is Brother Damon Warren, representing Peace. Please educate all children equally. Please share this information to everyone about the state of Delaware and anybody thinking about moving to Delaware, okay? And those might want to be across the bridge and come on over. We'll take you too. Come on down and be a part of the process and whatnot. And just make sure that you check in with the QR code and register, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for coming out. God bless you all. Good night.